10, 9.
You want answers? I want the truth!
Get ready for two guys who can't handle the truth.
I want the truth! You can't handle the truth!
But we can. Dave Palumbo, Chris Aceto. RxMuscle.com presents Heavy Muscle Radio.
Welcome to another episode of Heavy Muscle Radio. I'm Dave Palumbo, and I'm joined, as always, by the technician, Chris Aceto, on this July 13th, 2020 evening. And we are in the heart of the summer now, and it was mighty hot down here in Florida this past week. I think we hit like over 100 degrees a couple of days.
Yeah, it hit like 40 in Maine. No, it's 95.
My pool was 93 degrees. I could, my 2-year-old daughter got out of it. She's like, Mom, too hot.
I saw Logan doing.
Stop putting the heater on. I told Amanda.
You have the heater on in there or no?
She puts the heater on if it's not 90 degrees. I said, you don't need the heater on. It's 100 degrees outside. I said.
Well, what happened to me is when I started going down to Florida, I used to go into the ocean all the time in Maine. It'd be freezing, but cold, you know?
Sure.
And once I would go down to Florida and go into the ocean there, I could never, not once, have I been in the water in 10 years in Maine.
Oh, because it's too cold now. Yeah. The water's warm here. Yeah, I know. But I mean, it's nice at night when you're swimming and it's warm because it gets. It's a little cooler at night, but it's been really hot. It's been like really hot here.
Yes,
Can't even believe it how hot it is.
Florida had the hottest June on record by a lot, by like 5 degrees, not like 1 degree.
Oh, really? I broke down and I found online. This is talking about divine and what you think, you get what you think about. I was like, you know what? I have this 55-gallon fish tank in my garage that I've been using for my I had these turtles in there, but they've grown up and I put them with the other big turtles. So I said, I wonder if I used to have all those fish tanks in New York. So I'm like, I think I should do a fish tank. I'm going to get some fish. The kids love fish. And so I'm like, you know what? The 55 is nice, but a 70-gallon tank has the same footprint. It's the same width. It'll fit in the same spot, right? I might as well get a 70, but I don't want to buy a new one. And, you can't, nothing's, I'm with COVID and everything. So I'm like, I'm going to look on Facebook. Facebook Marketplace is a great place if you want to buy your stuff. People are always getting rid of stuff in there. So I look on there, and literally around the corner from my house, someone's getting rid of a 70-gallon tank and a stand and a top. I'm like, holy shit, this is exactly what I wanted. So I'm negotiating with them. I'm like, and I think I get the deal of the century, right? It's like $150 or something like that, which is silly dirt cheap. So I go there, I go to the guy's house, and I realize I can't fit the tank and the stand in my Vinny van. I have to go make 2 trips. I bring my mother-in-law back with the thing, and I'm like, what are you getting rid of the tank? He's like, yeah, I got a 135. I said, oh man, I'm jealous. Yeah, but we don't have the room. I don't want to start with big tanks, anymore. But I said, what'd you pay for it? He goes, I got a good deal on it. I said, how good a deal? He's like, oh, I paid $200 for the tank. I said, I said, so you basically paid nothing for it because you sold your tank to me.
That's right.
And so anyway, I'm going to be starting up a fish tank again. My wife's like, no, don't get obsessed with this. I said, no, I don't have the time.
No, yeah. You get obsessed with
snakes. I got to get, but I'm going to get a fish. But so anyway, I'm looking at the tank that's in the garage that's set up, and I bought a couple little, I bought a light and I bought a thermometer. So I stick the thermometer in the fish tank. It's like 96 degrees, the water. I'm like, I can't put fish in the garage. What? They'll literally
I'll die.
Fish. Yeah, they'll so I don't even know what to do. So now I'm gonna have to put ice cubes in the water every day, at least for the really hot days of the summer. It's not always that hot in there, obviously, but that's how hot it is. And when the fish tank water goes up to 96 degrees in the garage, it's hot.
It's funny. I thought of turtles. I went fishing, or I thought of you. I went fishing with my kids, and my oldest son caught a turtle. It came off the line.
Wow. What kind of turtle?
I don't know. Maine snapping turtle.
Nice.
We couldn't bring him in because the line was like this. Fishing rod. It's not designed. It's designed to catch.
I didn't know that you went fishing.
Well, it's a COVID activity, so it's a socially distanced, What else can you do? Like, I just looked online today. Like, amusement parks are closed, water parks are closed.
They just opened Disney. We have the record number of cases here in Florida, and they decided, we'll open Disney today. Yeah.
In the world, you have the record case.
Yeah.
There's no place more in the world than what you have. And it was dead there at Disney.
Right.
Or at Disney, it was dead.
Charisse, who's one of the owners of Titan Medical Center, she got COVID.
They didn't, by the way. They did not open the executive offices of Disney. Isn't that impressive?
Oh, they didn't. Well, yeah, because those guys don't want to go in and get it. Yeah.
So who got COVID?
Charisse, who owns Securus, who owns one of the owners of Titan Medical Center in Tampa.
Yeah.
She got really nailed with COVID pretty bad, but she had like a pneumonia on top of it, and so. But she's seems to be recovering. But it's from what I'm reading now is that it's pretty interesting how they're finding that it works. They've done some autopsy. The original government rulings was no autopsies, burn the bodies, which kind of seems a little sketchy. Why would you want to do an autopsy and see what this virus is doing to these bodies, right? Oh no, it's going to spread. That seems like, right when I hear that seems, I read cover up. That's how my brain interprets that. So they did in New York City a couple autopsies. And they found that there's not only is there clots in the lungs, there's clots in all major organs all over the body.
I sent you that article. That was me.
Oh, you sent it to me. Okay, right? Yeah. Okay, I didn't know. Yeah, I saw
everywhere.
And if you read a little, I don't know if it was in that article or if it was another article. What they found is that in your bone marrow you have stem cells, for red blood cells, but you also have stem cells that are or they're not really even stem cells. They're slightly differentiated. They're like the progenitor cells for the platelets. They're called megakaryocytes, and so it's like a really big cell that like a big chunky cell that actually breaks into pieces, and that becomes your platelets. But they're finding that the COVID virus somehow gets these cells to leave the bone marrow and go to these organs. And then when they get to the organs, form platelets, tons of them all over the place. And that's what causes these micro, circulation clots. That's a pretty smart virus. That's a pretty scary virus, if you ask me.
Bill Gates was a smart guy when he came up with it.
No, but it's so, even though most people are not dying of it. I know that's everyone's saying, but most people are not getting that sick from it. But are most people getting clots in their organs? And maybe, they're going to see this 5-10 years down the road.
What is the point when people say, well, most people, what are they, those?
Well, if you look at the death rate,
what is a person's perspective trying to prove when they say, well, it's,
because people want to think they're safe and they can go out. So they're saying, well, only 0.5% of people dying from it. Well, but they're not dying. But what about the people having permanent organ damage done? That's a little nerve-wracking to me, because death is sometimes better than a lot of suffering for 20 years, So, look at Guy Cisternino. He had a very mild case of COVID. A month after he had it, the guy got a blood clot in his leg, and luckily he's proactive. He could have lost his leg. Look what happened to Flex Wheeler. It was like so. Yeah. Or what's the other guy? What's that Men's Physique guy? Michael Anderson lost his leg from the clot too. So you got to be very very cautious about throwing caution to the wind, so to speak, on this one, because we don't really know. They don't know. Every day they come up with a new thing about, COVID, this, you got to do this, you got to do that, you got to do this treatment, that treatment. They don't know what they're doing right now. So.
Well, how could they? It's new.
Well, I think that it's weird that they weren't doing more autopsy. You would think that they would be wanting to try to figure out what the fucking virus does, right?
To cut it open, right?
4 months later, they finally found out that it's causing blood clots everywhere. It seems like a pretty easy symptom to pick up on with all the quote deaths they have out there, right? They were picking up a little sooner, but I don't know. Speaking of this whole COVID thing, I don't know if you saw, there was I don't think you sent me this, in Lincoln Park, Detroit, Metro Detroit. Let me see if I can pull this up here. Police came. Okay, there it is. Police came, and not only did they close the gym and they gave the owner a fine, but they gave all the members fines too, and appearance tickets. Here's the owner. Olney. All the members were given criminal citations. They had to go to court.
Criminal citation.
Criminal. Yeah. There's the gym.
Well, what are they going to do with them? Put them in jail if they don't pay the fine?
I don't know. They got to make an appearance. I don't know. RTV gym. Yeah, I thought they had a record.
Courts are closed. There's no court that's open. What are they going to? I guess they can make an appearance on Zoom. Eviction court is closed.
Olney said the gym followed the closure order until June 25th. That day was once planned as the first day that gyms could legally reopen after a judge reordered them to ordered an end to Whitmer's closure after the filing. But on the 11th hour ruling, the U.S. 6th District Court of Appeals scuttled those plans by delaying implementation of the lower court's decision. All right, so they basically decided we're not going to open the gyms. Olney said his gym is his livelihood, and he tried to keep it open out of a financial necessity, although with the social distancing rules and adding spacing between the equipment, the building is a former powerhouse gym, which he bought and rebranded in 2018. This is my bread and butter, he said. I guess the Carnes, a former police chief, said he and Lincoln Park City Council members learned that the RTB gym was open in defiance of Whitmer's order from a citizen. So someone ratted him out, basically. RTB gym was given a warning on Tuesday, and a manager there voluntarily closed the business, Carnes said. City officials took further steps Wednesday upon discovering the gym had reopened. If you don't comply, there are ramifications, the mayor said. Olney said he was surprised that Lincoln Park took the actions it did. He noted how not all cities are going after gyms that remain open.
No.
I have competitors open, and they get a slap on the wrist, he said. They get a $500 fine, a $1,000 fine. They pay it. They're open the next day. We come in. We get a warning. I expected to get the fine the next day and pay it and do the same thing. But everyone got ticketed in our gym.
Walmart's open, dude.
So stupid.
Right? Walmart. If I was him, I'd be like, I'd want to go burn the Walmart down.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, if it's your only source of income.
It's disgusting. I mean, don't these people have anything better to do, the city council? I mean, they're worried about this guy's gym open. I mean, I think they got a lot more stuff to worry about, right? I mean, like with riots and racial tension, they're worried about this guy having a gym open, just so stupid.
Well, at some point, just everyone's going to, I mean, statistically, isn't everyone going to get it No, I guess not. No, that's not true. That's not true.
Well, I hear.
I saw Sweden had 11 cases today. Germany had 300 and Florida had 15,000.
Yeah. Why do you think these European countries are not getting it as much?
Because people wear masks.
You really think that's the reason?
Well, you tell me.
I don't know.
Of course it is.
I don't know. I don't have an answer. I can't figure it out. I think we have more people than they do. That's what I think.
Well, we had 60,000 cases today, and Germany had 300. Right.
Well, Germans are very, very meticulous about what they do. So I'm sure if they're given rules, they follow the rules.
Well, that's what I mean.
It's like Americans hear rules and they do the opposite. It's like my son. If I say to my son, oh, "Don't touch that," the second I say "don't touch it," he goes and touches it.
Yeah. That's his freedom. That's his freedom in the Palumbo household, that he can do what he needs.
Oh, shh, Shayla's sleeping. Don't raise your voice. He'll scream as loud as he can.
Yeah.
That's us. That's Americans in general, right?
Yeah. No, I don't know what it is, but regardless if it's wearing masks or not wearing masks, Florida's in the shitter.
Yeah. So I had my training course this week.
How'd it go?
Yeah,
you sent me the link.
First time I did it, I sent you the link by accident.
Isn't Zoom amazing though, right?
I didn't use Zoom.
You didn't?
No, I have my own little. I'll show you.
How many people attended?
I had 20 people. It's great. I have more than I normally have. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
awesome.
People didn't have to travel.
Yeah, well, I got people all over the world. I got a guy from Bangladesh. I got an Indian guy. I got from India, German.
From Germany, Indian, from India, Italian from Italy.
And think about it, because I was doing it on my time, 9 to 5. They were up. It was like all night for them, and they loved it.
Right.
It was good. It was good. I was nervous.
You didn't have to feed them lunch.
I didn't have to feed him anything. That's right. But I gave him a better deal. It wasn't as expensive as it normally is. So And the great thing is it was recorded by the interface that I use, this Palumbo University at learnitlive.com. And they can go back and rewatch it for 2 weeks.
I warned you about using that university. They sued the hell out of Trump. Because I have that hat that says Aceto University, and I know. And I only say it's only a hat. Don't sue me.
That's right. So yeah, we did it. It was good. I mean, people really enjoyed it. I actually was a little nervous at first, but I actually like it better almost than doing it live. Although I like to interact with people. I'm like my father. I'm like a comedian. I need to have like validation.
You like to
I need to hear the laughs. I need to hear the people's feedback. And so what I do is we kind of mute them while I'm talking until they ask. And then when they want to ask questions, I unmute them because I don't want to hear people like ruffling papers in the back because it's annoying. So, but the great thing about the whole thing is that I have the ability to put the manual that I created, the 100-page manual. I upload it to this little interface here, which they can then download it. That's how they get the manual. And then I have it on the screen, and I can actually, Chris, draw on it if I want. I have tools, so I can draw diagrams and circle things and show them in the book.
You love that.
Oh, it's great. I love it. And you know what? If I have to go to the bathroom, I'm like, all right, 5-minute break, and I walk away, and I can make a shake for myself. Or I can go to the bathroom. And then we have a lunch break for an hour. So they break it into 2 sessions essentially. So, for 40, we actually made the break only 45 minutes, and I ran home, and I was hanging out with the kids. I had a little ate something, and I went back, and I don't have to entertain anyone. When everyone's at my house, I have to take them. We get in the car, we have to drive to the place, and I buy them all lunch. So I didn't have to buy anyone lunch. So but it was good because it enables, now that I know it works, the interface really well, I can do other courses. Like let's say I wanted to hold a course on, I always wanted to do a course on how to read food labels properly, but that's not a whole day course. That's a 2-hour class, maybe. It should be an hour class, but I can talk for 2 hours and then I answer a lot of questions. So I might hold for $100, or something like that, or $75, you take a class on how to read labels, and I'll basically have all these, stuff, the way people, try to, trick you and all this stuff. And I'll show people how to really take a food label or a supplement label and break it down and what it all means. And I always thought that would be a great course. And now I can do it because I can put the labels up on the screen while I'm talking, and I can circle things and show them and point out where people do dubious things and how the difference between a nutrition or a food label and a supplement fact panel and stuff like that. And so I can do all these little mini courses now and really make it like a real teaching thing. So I could do the guru course, a couple times a year, but I can also do smaller ones that won't, because the guru course knocks the crap out of me, because that's like a 9-hour day of talking, I'm like.
So does this mean that after COVID, at some point in the future, you're going back to bringing people to Florida? Or you're going to do everything online?
I don't know. Maybe I may only do like in Florida, like the VIP in Florida once a year, and then the rest of it will be online. So we'll see. It depends. It doesn't look like COVID's disappearing anytime soon, so I won't be letting anyone over to my house. So I will say one thing. After the class was over, I'd only slept 4 hours the night before because I couldn't get the kids to sleep, and I was doing emails, and so I went through 2 cups of coffee, kept me awake the whole day. And, when the coffee wears off and you're really tired to begin with, what happens? You just like collapse, I realized I was slipping into like a coma. So we were putting the kids to sleep at around like 10 o'clock or something like that. And, or 10:30. I'm like, you know what? I'm never going to make. Usually I get up, I'll work out, I'll go downstairs, I'll answer emails. I'm like, I'm not going to make it. I know it. Once I lay on next to my daughter's bed on the floor on the little mattress we have there, I'm not getting. There's no way I'm going to wake up. I just know it. So I didn't. I slept the first. This is true story. I don't care. I don't know if anyone cares, but I slept, Chris, from 11 o'clock at night probably to 10 o'clock, with a couple we get ups in the morning, in the middle of the night to pee and stuff like that. I slept like almost 11 hours last night. I don't think I slept that much for the last 5 years.
My record is 36 hours.
When you got sick, right?
No, let's see, I've done 36. My previous record was 30, because I will go for months and then I'll just months, and then I'll just crash. It'll catch up with me.
I'll tell you what I was experiencing. My my ankles were hurting me. Like walking around, I was having ankle pain, like on both sides, like where I had to put my sneakers on because my feet couldn't support my body. And I didn't know. I said, fuck, man, I can't believe it. What am I getting? Like arthritis in my ankles? I you know, like falling apart. And then I get the good night's sleep last night. I wake up, I'm like, I could walk again.
Well, that's like my back, I'm sure.
Yeah, fatigue. I think what happens is you don't recover. It's like, you know,
no.
And I'm wondering why I can't remember anything. It's because you solidify all your memories when you sleep at night. If you don't sleep though, you can't remember anything.
Yeah.
So I basically the last 4 years I don't have any recall of what happened the last 4 years.
Once the kids come, it's just all one big blur.
Yeah.
It'll be like my office, Dave. You'll look up in 10 years in my office, you say, I can't believe, you'll say to your wife, I can't believe we have these pictures of was I aware that the kids were that little? I mean, I got pictures like of my kids and like thinking like, God, when was that?
Especially your kids. Your kids are huge now. They're like
gigantic.
Monsters.
They're huge.
Yeah, but I can't even believe that you know, my kid. There's no way anyone else's kids stay up as late as my kids.
I agree.
It's impossible. My son doesn't go to sleep now. Do you know that last night? Do you know that last night when I passed out at 11, Logan was in the game room. My wife was working out and he was hanging out in there at midnight. Okay, she went down and he's like, "Where are you going?" She's like, "I got to go take a shower." He's like, "I want to." He was swimming in the pool with her at 12:30 at night.
Oh my God!
She took him in the pool. Can you believe it? She wanted to go for a dip. She's like, "All right, just come with me."
Yeah.
He's like, maybe. Yeah, he's like, maybe we should get Aria up. He's telling my wife. She's like, no, Aria's sleeping. Everyone else in this whole neighborhood is sleeping. He's like, they are? Why? She's like, because it's 12:30 at night.
Yeah. He'll want to do it every night now.
Oh, he does. He does. Believe it's unbelievable. I interviewed George Peterson the other day.
Oh, yeah.
He's getting ready for Tampa.
Yeah.
Oh my! He's obviously, you know, for those who don't know, he's switching from the classic physique division to the 212 division, and he looks like an absolute. Have you seen some of the Instagram stuff of him? He looks like a freak.
Yeah, he's freaky.
Justin, obviously Miller, who's a very good friend of mine, is his coach, and I can't even believe he's like 222. He looks freaking nuts. You think anyone could beat this guy? In Tampa, I don't know about it.
I don't know who's in the lineup, so I don't know. But I mean, it's hard to say that. I think he can be beat. Yeah, I think he's phenomenal. But I mean, wait a minute. People aren't coming from Europe, are they?
No. That's not I
mean, because if you go through like the top 9 bodybuilders of the 212 last year and the year before. There's just a lot of tremendous people.
I mean, he'll match up pretty well with Kamal, I think.
Of course he will.
In the Olympia.
Of course he will.
It's amazing to think that he was a classic physique guy last year, and he's like, what is he going to be, like 20 pounds heavier now?
Well, I mean,
look at that back. Look at the back.
Phenomenal. Be careful. What's that saying? Be careful what you wish for. How many times I was critical? Like, remember how many times we think of George Peterson? I say he's not a classic guy. How many times?
He's a 212 bodybuilder. Look, now he's
said it a million times, and here I am coaching Kamal, and like, be careful what you wish for.
Yeah, exactly. Now you created your own worst nightmare there.
Well, I never thought he was classic. I always thought his physique was better suited.
He's got like a Ronnie Coleman back, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Look at that.
He's like a short Ronnie Coleman.
Yeah, he looks. That back is ridiculous.
He's got good legs.
Where's he training? He's training
at Justin's house. Thank God. Luckily for him, Justin's got a gym in his house. Look at those lats.
Yeah, it's phenomenal. Look at triceps, traps. He's got everything. Pecs, shoulders. Look at, he's phenomenal.
Yeah, he's good. So that was a good interview with him and Justin.
Yeah, I mean, he'll be remarkably difficult to beat. That's for sure.
Yeah, I don't think anyone will beat him in Tampa, but you never know. There's always guys coming out of the woodwork. So do you think at the Olympia we won't see any Europeans, huh? That's going to be a problem?
I don't know if let's see.
There's no flights over here, right? But maybe they can.
Well, no, we're banned from flying to Europe.
Oh, but they can come here?
Yeah, but I would expect if Trump wins, he'll retaliate by saying you can't come here.
Oh, that's a possibility.
Of course that will happen.
It's a definite possibility.
I bet Hardy's not on the show, so we talked about that. That's not going to happen.
Yeah, you're probably right on that one. Did you? I did an article on. We'll talk about the Olympia in a second. I did an article on. Article I did. No one writes articles anymore. I did a video on the difference between sweet potatoes and yams. Do you know the difference?
I don't know the difference between a sweet potato and a yam.
Do you know that sweet potatoes have almost double the carbs per ounce than do regular potatoes?
Oh, than regular potatoes.
But they're almost double sweet potatoes too. Sweet potatoes and regular potatoes are close. They're like a gram difference of carbs. Like in other words, if you have an ounce of sweet potatoes, it's like 1 gram more carbs than the regular potato. But yams are like double.
I didn't know that. No wonder why the guys I'm working out with aren't lean enough.
The problem is that most yams in the supermarket are really not yams. They're really sweet potatoes.
Sweet potatoes, okay.
Because what they did was a lot of people call the yellow or the orange sweet potato. They call the orange sweet potatoes yams, but they're really not. They're just orange sweet potatoes. White sweet potatoes are the ones that you see mostly. Mm-hmm. So I had read an article. Excuse me. I read an article about it, and I said, you know what? I don't think anyone knows this. And the reason I read the article about it was because one of my clients asked me. He's like, I'm trying to figure out why the guy's not losing weight, and he's eating yams. And I'm like thinking, let me look up how many grams of carbs yams have. Like 8 grams of carbs per ounce.
So
he's eating 10 ounces. It's actually 7 net carbs because it's got 1 gram of fiber. So figure 7 grams of carbs per ounce, and he was eating 10 ounces per meal because I had him eating 10 ounces of potatoes because 10 ounces of potatoes is 45 grams of carbs.
Oh, is that it?
Yeah. And
wow, I didn't know that.
And 10 ounces.
Funny, I still don't know
I didn't know this either, Chris. I just looked it up recently.
I never believed it.
Yeah, and 10 ounces of yams is 70 grams of carbs. It's crazy.
It's just odd to me that a 10-ounce potato is only, what you say, how many carbs?
It's 4.5 grams of carbs per ounce in potatoes. 45. A lot of water in potatoes. That's why sweet potatoes and yams have a lot of much starchy sugar, more sugary too. Denser. They're denser.
Yeah, that's why. You know what? It's funny. Intuitively, I always give people potatoes, and I always thought they get leaner on potatoes, and there's calories.
They got less carbs per ounce. Yeah, of course they do. I didn't realize that either. I knew that. I always thought sweet potatoes had a lot more because they taste so sweet, but they're only. In 10 ounces of potato, you only get 10 more grams of carbs than you would from you get 10 more grams of carbs in a sweet potato than you would in a regular white potato. But yams, you got to watch out because sometimes they do sell yams in the supermarket. Yams can be, they're much longer. They almost look like a root,
Yes.
Whereas the sweet potatoes have a little bit more, roundness to them. And then the potatoes obviously are round, or oval, whatever. But yeah, a real yam is like, you can only get those usually in those tropical, fruit stands like they have like from the islands and stuff like that. They have like, kind of weird like tropical fruits that you wouldn't see.
And they sell like yucca root.
Right. So anyway, if you guys want to watch that video, it's informative. I like to inform you guys of what's going on here, so that you guys feel like you leave the show with a little bit of knowledge that you didn't have before.
When I went to Springfield College, they had there was a big Spanish population in Springfield, so there was which was like none in Maine. So they had yams, but they also had like yucca roots and all those little root. And I always figured, there must be less carbs in them. They look like a potato.
Right.
They sold next to potato, and I used to come home and bake them, and I'd try to Bob Gruskinize them, try to get something low carb. Bob Gruskinize them means trying to get something that tastes like a carb or something that has very little carbs.
I'll tell you what I'm hooked on. I mentioned it before. Legendary Foods Pop-Tarts, the ones that are low carb Pop-Tarts. Yeah. Oh my God, I eat those all the time. I'll tell you something. I check my blood sugar after those, and they don't go up. It doesn't go up at all. So I know that they're legit.
I go to Bam Bam Bakery in Portland, Maine, and they make homemade Pop-Tarts.
Yeah, those are full
They're
stress.
insane.
You become a diabetic on those though.
Yeah.
Did you see what?
No, I said if George Peterson carved up on him for Tampa.
There you go.
280.
Maybe Chad Nichols could find that. Yeah, he'll add that to his regimen. Did you see Iris Kyle? There's a big. They did a big thing for Iris.
Someone sent that to me today. Someone told me that. Well, they sent me. They said, "What do you think of Iris doing the Olympia?" How old is she?
She's in her 40s. Probably, she's got to be like 45, I would think, right?
Yeah, I would like to see Kim Chevesky do it.
Yeah, I know. I wonder if Kim could get big again.
Oh, I'm sure, easy.
Linda, I'd like to see Linda do it. What is Linda? 60? She just turned 60.
She's probably late 50s, maybe late 50s, mid 50s, mid 50s, mid to late.
I told Bev Francis, I said, Bev, you should come back. She's like, no way. I said, come on, Bev. One more time.
You can't come back.
You got the new knees now, you know. She's in Australia, though, probably. She could probably train out there. So she goes back and forth, you know. So anyway, Iris is coming back. She's got 10 Olympia titles already. She's, I guess, defending her Olympia title because they haven't had an Olympia, right, in the last 5 years or whatever it's been.
Yeah, I think the prize money for the woman's going to equal the men.
Yeah, maybe
with
Jake in control. He believes in that.
Don't be. I mean, what do you give away for the Wings of Strength?
He gave away a lot of. He gave like 50 grand cash and then like a $75,000.
So you don't. There's completely no way on this COVID earth that he's going to give 50 grand. He's going to give more. Right? It's Miss Olympia, which is bigger than Wings of Strength.
Wouldn't that be awesome? How many women would go into women's bodybuilding after that?
Well, that's what I said. Maybe Kim will come back.
Shanique Grant should do women's bodybuilding. For that amount of money, right?
So it could be a $75,000 payday.
It's possible. Iris is such a freak. I love looking at. Look at these pictures on our Instagram. What woman has glutes like that? Those are like Ronnie Coleman glutes.
Yeah, she looks crazy there.
she's got a really like.
Wow, she looks crazy there. That's crazy. Yeah. That's insane. When was that? What show was that?
I don't know which one that was.
Dave, the last year they had the Miss Olympia was in Jersey. Do you remember when they had it in Jersey? Got canceled.
Yeah, I was there.
You were there. Okay,
Kim Chevesky won. That was her last year. She won.
Yep, and Laura.
She wasn't even that hard, but she was big.
Yep, they gifted Vicky Gates into second because she was with Ronnie.
Right.
Well, that's true. Laura got third.
Right. Laura was shredded.
Yeah, she could have easily won that show.
Yeah.
I thought. And the biggest potential I saw in the show was Iris Kyle. She got fourth.
Yeah, that's right. That's right before she started, you know.
She just had all the bells and whistles and just needed a little bit more refinement. And I think at the time she was probably like 24.
Yeah, she was young. She had to be.
She was really young. I said she's probably doing everything wrong. Man, she gets in shape. You forget what type of condition she gets in, right?
She got the Coleman arms too, right?
Oh yeah, she had them then. Believe me, her front double then was insane.
She's not as good as she was, you know, maybe at the peak of her career when she was. I think the peak of her career when she beat Linda Murray. Remember, Linda came back and won.
Yeah.
And then Iris just showed up the next year. And it was a crazy battle between Linda and her, and she was just off the charts wacky at that show. I mean, to beat Linda was probably her best at that show too. You know, to beat Linda at her best, that tells you how good Iris is. Because Linda was amazing. You know?
It created World War III between them.
Yeah, they don't get along, obviously, even to this day. And I don't think it's Iris that has any problem with Linda. It's Linda that has the problem with Iris.
Well, the winner never has problems with when they win.
Well, Iris did lose to Linda that one year, right? Mm-hmm. Didn't she?
Yeah.
And then she came back and she won. Iris has been beat a couple times. Yaxani beat her once too, and she came back. So I mean, that shows you what a true champion she is. You know.
Yeah.
So
she'll probably come in best conditioned in all the
right.
What's the most amount of cardio she's done?
She used to do 3 hours of cardio. She probably still does it.
I heard
she's
6
hard work.
I'm dead serious. Once I heard someone said she did 6.
She
not
might
all the time. Not all the time.
She might have done like a 4-hour day once. I think she's. I don't know. I could be more than that, but she'll get up at 2 a.m. and just do cardio. She doesn't care. She's like Ronnie. I think she likes the cardio secretly. Because think about it. Why did Ronnie need to do? The only reason, and we've talked about this. The only reason Ronnie needed to do 2 hours of cardio was because he was eating, all that Masterpiece barbecue sauce.
That Olympia I just told you about, Dave.
Yes.
That Olympia. Tell me what year that was. 99, 98 when they had it in Jersey, Miss Olympia.
I think you're right. Yeah.
Coleman was backstage. It was a week and a half. It was 1 week or 2 weeks before it was right before the Mr. Olympia. And
that's when they had it separate. Yeah.
And Coleman was there. They had a treadmill backstage for some reason.
Was he doing it?
Dave, he was doing, I'm dead serious. I'll never forget this. He was in spandex and he was doing a treadmill. I'm dead serious, for an hour. And the treadmill incline was like this. He had it as high as you could possibly do it. I don't know how he stayed on it. The gravity didn't just pull him off. And he must have burnt more calories in an hour than, seriously.
He probably was dripping sweat.
It was ridiculous.
Hold on. I got a picture of Kim from that Olympia.
That was a killer Olympia.
Yeah. That was Kim.
Yeah, she was full for that show. It was a good look.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, look good on her. I mean, she wasn't like as crazy shredded as Laura was or that I've seen her in the past, but she was big. She was really big.
Yeah. It was actually a good she's better fuller.
Yeah. Yeah. Her face looked I think that was the criticism. They were trying to say, oh, her face is gets too sucked out. And
well, the lats are fuller. Her lats always fall apart when she was totally peeled.
Yeah.
Yeah, seemed like yesterday.
Right? I remember Bob Bonham held it.
I think that was the show that I drove home and I saw you broken down on the highway.
Was I?
Yeah, I was driving home.
I was really broken. And you didn't stop?
I didn't know who you were. I saw you like corner of my eye. You can't stop in New York.
I don't remember. Where was I stuck?
It was like 95 where it intersects with like the tunnel, I think.
Huh. I wonder what I was.
You don't remember being broken down?
I don't remember, no. I was broken down on the way back from Atlantic City show one year.
Maybe that was it.
I had a flat tire.
See if you can find Laura in that show.
I'm trying to find.
Where do you even find this stuff?
I don't know. I just Google it. Let me see.
Kenny Castle had that show.
Kenny Castle and Bob Bonham held the women's extravaganza every year. And the women's extravaganza was a show where they would have like these girls would do, they'd have like a women's bodybuilding show, but then they would also have they would do a strength show. They would do all these feats of strength.
Something you would do.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly. Yeah, I stole their ideas. And it was all they had a lot of the schmoey guys there that loved all the women bodybuilders and et cetera, et cetera. And so no one wanted to hold the Olympia that year, right? So they said, look, instead of having the women's pro show that we normally have, we'll just do the Olympia. Yeah. And they saved women's bodybuilding that year, basically, because they weren't going to have it. I don't know why they weren't going to have it. I don't know if it fell through. That wasn't a Jarka year, was it? The Jarka screwed it up?
I'm trying to figure out what happened. No, but I can't remember. Yeah, I think it was a Jarka related issue. She had it in Prague the year before, and she was going to have it, and I don't know if she didn't have the money in or something.
Was it hard that screwed it up? I think so, right?
I don't know. When she had it in Prague, dude, it was like off the charts, incredible show. It was sold out. It was like in the best of everything. The buffet was like insane at the hotel. The accommodations was insane.
It was great when she held it in Miami too. She lost her shirt there too.
Well, I don't think she lost her shirt when she had the Miss Olympia in Prague.
Oh, you think she made money on that one?
Sold out. It was crazy sold out.
So maybe that's why she assumed that she was going to make money if she held it in, if she held it in, whatchamacallit, in Miami. She tried to do the Masters Nationals.
Masters Olympia.
Masters Olympia, right? So
She had it a couple of years. I think Dexter won a couple hundred. He won it a couple times.
yeah, I don't think he ever got paid the last time, did he? Or not all the money.
Dexter always gets paid, dude. You would have heard about it. You would have heard about it.
I think before the show took place, didn't she say we're not going to have all the money, and if you guys want to compete, because usually Manion won't let them hold the show unless they have all the money in escrow, which is smart.
Yeah.
Like in an account, so they can pay it out.
Yeah, they gave the bone to Vicky for second because she was with Ronnie.
I'm trying to find the pictures. I don't know why I can't find the pictures.
That's a fact. Not gonna.
Is it really?
Oh, come on. Look at
I'm trying to remember, but it's amazing how popular women's bodybuilding was back then.
Oh God, it was crazy popular.
Yeah, I can't pinpoint Laura in 99 for some reason. I don't know why. You know what the problem is? There's really no photos from that show.
Yeah, I know.
There's like they're selling some videos that whoever was the Women's Physique World guys were shooting videos and then show. That's all there is.
It was a debacle of a. Well, no, the show wasn't a debacle. It was just the last minute that the Olympia was canceled, and then they held it in Jersey.
It was a shame that they no one cared about that show. That was the problem. No one's going to admit that, but that's the problem. No one cared about the Miss Olympia. They never did. Jake Wood's the first person who came along who really cared about the Miss Olympia. And then he couldn't even get them to hold it. He had to buy the Olympia. He had to buy the whole thing to actually hold the Miss Olympia. How pathetic is that, right?
Be interesting to see what type of lineup they get. I bet it's stacked.
Well, I don't know if there's that many women bodybuilders left.
Oh, once they announce prize money, there may be more.
I think in future years it will start building up again because if I'm a woman who's got a lot of muscle, I'm doing the Olympia. Not only just for the title, but for the prizes, right?
Yeah, they give away the vehicle. Maybe he'll give a jet away or something.
Jet.
I won't compete for a,
Yeah.
SUV, but if you throw in a jet, corporate jet.
Look, you know what? I was thinking about the other day. Jake Wood is the best thing that ever happened to bodybuilding. I get news for you. And you and I said it, I didn't know who was going to take over after the leaders. And I knew AMI would get sick of it eventually, because they can't make a lot of money from it. They really weren't into bodybuilding. Pecker kind of was like, it was kind of like he liked it. It was kind of like a hobby for him. But, I think his heart wasn't really in it,
You got to wake up in the morning. The first thing you think about is bodybuilding. If that's not what you think about, then
sure. So I said, it's going to take someone who's a person who's got a ton of money, who doesn't care if they lose money, who just loves the sport for the sake of it. That's why I thought Blackman would be a perfect person to take over. But you know what? He's too cheap. Like, he's too worried about losing money and stuff like that. And he doesn't know how to make money in today's day and market, because he only knows magazines. So I think he's just a little too old. If this had happened like maybe 15 years ago when he was a little younger, he might have been able to adapt a little better, but it passed him by. Jake Wood is the perfect person because he's got a ridiculous amount of money, where it doesn't matter if he loses money. It's kind of like a write-off to him. And he loves the sport, bodybuilding. And so he doesn't mind supporting it. And obviously he doesn't want to lose money. No one wants to lose money. He's a businessman. But I think he's willing to take a hit initially to build the thing up, the brand up. And I think that's really what it takes, right? I mean, if you come in and you buy an old mansion, you're going to take a hit rebuilding that mansion. It has potential once it's done, but you're going to have to put a shitload of money into that mansion to make it, amazing again. But once you do, people are going to want to come and see it, right? Because they're going to be like, holy mackerel, I remember when this was, 30 years ago, this was the greatest mansion. And I can't believe I don't know what they spent on this thing, but I can't wait to go see it again. That's what he's got to do. He's got to rebuild the Olympia basically from scratch.
Usually the mansion costs more to rebuild it than it does just to demo it and start all over.
True. But,
as a, So maybe that's what happens at the Olympia. You know, he may spend a fortune, but
well, they moved the good move was they moved it. Okay, because even if the Orleans was working, it doesn't matter. It had that old. If you stay at the Orleans, you have the same energy that the old crew had. People, you don't.
Great point,
right? You have to change the energy of the show.
It's a great point.
So they get it in a nice new place with a new hotel right on the strip. A lot of excitement right off the bat. Okay, it adds a level of importance to the event. It's not off on the side in some smelly casino. Now, obviously, I can see what they're doing. They got back Adela Garcia, former Miss Olympia. They got what's her name? Oksana Grishina doing the show. They got Iris Kyle doing the show. They got I don't know.
Rome jumping in.
Yeah, they're getting former Olympia champs in the lineup to try to also spice it up a little bit and add some interest. I think the best thing they could do is get an MC or even a co-MC who would be like a celebrity, like they used to back in the day when D'Amelio would get like Tom Arnold or Dana Carvey did it a couple of years. Make the Olympia seem like it's so important that we have celebrities, running the thing. I know they got Shaq as the ambassador this year, but he's going to sit in the front row with his head 14, inches higher than everyone else's, and people will see him. But I want to hear some celebrity people in there, doing some stuff.
You want to see like Stallone?
They should get Stallone there. I mean, Stallone loves bodybuilding. I'm sure if they invited him, he'd come. But even if he came up and gave a 10-minute speech or something like that, you know what I mean? That would be great.
Yeah. How would it go?
Maybe Kai could film his variety show there.
Yeah. You see Kai do the voiceover for UFC?
No. What did he do?
He's doing one of his. How he did the voice for the NFL?
Yes. Oh, they hired him to do that.
He's doing it for the UFC now.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Right?
Yeah. Well, he could film his variety show at the Olympia, like on the stage or something like that. He could do like a Tina Turner, Ike Turner, skit with Pauline Nelson there or something like that. Or maybe he could do like the Jackson 5, like he did. He should, or you know what he should do? That's what they should do. Fuck him competing. They should hire him to sing Billie Jean on stage and do the moonwalk and do the whole thing in his posing suit. Right? Just hire him to guest pose. That's the best thing. Give him $100,000 to guest pose. Who cares? Show up. He'll bring 1 million people there. I'd pay to watch him pose at the Tonight Show, wouldn't you?
No, because I just want to see him in the show,
You want to see him in the show because you're a purist, but I'm saying most people, if he would perform at the show, that's like a Broadway show in itself. You can make him perform.
He could be the MC with right?
No, let him just perform. I don't want to hear him talk and giving speeches or anything like that. I just want to hear him go up there and enter, do like a Broadway show almost, like a halftime show. The Kai Green halftime show at the Olympia.
It's funny you can't get an answer on a Kai on any subject, and yet he's the voice of the NFL, and he's Bob Ciccarello is the voice of bodybuilding.
You can't let him give his own. No, you can't let him write the lines himself. You have to you have to give him the lines to speak.
It's a teleprompter.
That's right.
So Ciccarello is the voice of bodybuilding, and Kai Green is the voice of the NFL and UFC.
Seriously, I'm telling you, they should hire Kai to do. If Kai won't do the Olympia, hire him to do the halftime show. I think it would be spectacular. They always have the Arnold people used to always hire those Cirque du Soleil acts. They still do it where they balance on the hands and stuff like that. Get a Kai up there to do his variety show for 10 minutes, whatever. He can go out and give a monologue to begin with. Then he can bring out his troupe of actors. They can do their skit and a little dance and song and posing thing, and then they can close up the show, and that's it. And then at the end, you can have him hand out the trophy to the overall winner.
If Vince McMahon still had bodybuilding, he was doing the Olympia.
Oh, Kai would definitely be doing his act there.
Well, he could have paid Phil to do it, paid Kai to do it.
Oh, he would have paid everyone. Yeah, they all would have done it.
They could have had a fake confrontation in the prejudging.
He would have had Nasser in the show probably.
Yeah.
Even though Nasser's dead.
They could have been like battling it out at the press conference.
That's right.
And people wouldn't know if it's real or fake.
There's no doubt he would have had those guys. Yeah. If you throw, you know what? I find if you throw enough money at everyone, at anyone, they'll pretty much show up.
Yeah. Most everyone.
Yeah. He probably could have got Ferrigno to come back again, I bet you.
Who knows?
Louis, I'll give you $1 million. All right, fine. I'm coming back.
Yeah.
60 years old.
Chest shoulders dry, back by legs. Do it again Thursday. Chest shoulders dry. Friday back by. Saturday.
I said, Louis, we'll have you come out in the Hulk costume, green. You'll come out. You'll scare the crap out of everyone. Then we'll get you backstage. We'll we'll clean you off. We'll get you pro tan on you, and then you'll come out and compete. $1 million, $2 million, Louis. Okay, I'll do it. I'll do it. Vince, for you, I'll do it. I'll show my arms.
I'm surprised Vince never got back in, right?
Vince got back into
football. He's doing the football thing.
You know what the problem was? They scared the crap out of him, I think, with the whole bodybuilding thing and the steroids.
Yeah.
He would have done a great job with it. I think. I think they really were just feeling their oats, sowing their oats, so to speak. They were kind of feeling out like how to do it. I think 2 or 3 years into the whole, probably by year 5 on the bodybuilding thing, he would have had it figured out, and it would have been spectacular. And it wouldn't have even been in competition with the IFBB because they were making it like a wrestling thing. It wasn't even real.
I know, but Joe would have had a meltdown, and
well, there would have been big money. Joe would have had to pay out even more money for contracts. But Joe would have found new people to like he said, he would have made new stars. Vince would have taken his troop of guys that he stole from Joe, and those guys would have been like WWE celebrities.
Joe told me directly that he could care less, that he has a magazine. He's the one who creates the stars.
He's right. In bodybuilding, he did. So even if he lost 10 guys to Vince, that organization never would have been competitive with the IFBB because it's not an Olympia. It would have been a TV deal. In other words, it would have been for guys that want to be wrestlers who don't want to necessarily wrestle, but they're not going to be concerned about who's the best guy on stage. They're willing to play the part, play the bad guy, play the good guy, play the stud, play the nutcase, whatever role they gave him to play. And acted. It would have been like an acting thing. It would have been like
you, Dave, to do the writing.
I would have loved it. I would have loved it.
The writers.
I probably would have, if they would have survived, I probably would have gravitated toward that because I didn't have a physique that would have ever done, that wasn't going to win the Olympia, but I had a freaky physique where Vince could have given me like a role to play, so to speak, and I would have done it.
Dave. He would have loved it. But what, Dave, I know you would have been asking Vince, let me cross over. First, you guys would have become best friends. And then you'd want to cross over and do some like tag team with Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah. Can I wrestle Andre the Giant, too? I was watching something that Hulk Hogan did some kind of interview where he was talking about when he wrestled Hulk Hogan. When Hulk Hogan wrestled Andre the Giant the last time, Andre's back was terrible, and the guy had a million injuries. He was not in good physical health, and Hulk had to lift him up and slam him. Now Andre was like 500 pounds. I don't know how Hulk did it, to be honest with you. They show it in slow motion. Yeah. It was amazing. Tells you how strong Hulk Hogan was, and. Andre was just he said his ring savvy was so good. He just knew how to move his body and to enable you to do what he had to do there. But he was in pain the whole fight, he said,
Yeah.
But I think Vince paid him a lot of money to do it,
Sure.
That's why I said Louis would definitely come out of retirement for a nice paycheck.
You got Louis' number. Call him up right now on the show.
Be great. Yeah, absolutely great. So, well, it was a good week because no one died in the bodybuilding world, right? This past week.
No, I didn't hear any. Yeah.
No, that's a good week when we have no deaths and we have everyone's in a good mood
and
doing well.
There were a couple NPC. There was a pro show, right?
There was a show, right? I think there was a pro show.
There was a men's. Someone told me there was a men's pro show. Not classic. Men's physique.
That's a good sign that they're holding shows.
A huge turnout in terms of competitors.
Let's pull it up.
So that's that's big news.
Good shape. I think that would mean that. Oh, was this the show that they had to move?
Yeah.
I think this is the show they moved, right?
I think was it who's.
Hold on, they had the show in Salt Lake City. I know that one. Let me see.
Jay went out to that one. I heard.
Oh, he did. Let's see. The results were of that one. They even have it up.
I think he committed to it. Jay, since he committed to it in a contract or whatever a year ago.
Yeah, I'm surprised Jay got it on an airplane.
He probably flew his own out there.
All right, so then I think the Sacramento Pro, or it was called the NorCal.
Yeah, that was one.
Bikini was won by Lucia Maloazzi from Brazil. A lot of girls in the lineup, 27 girls. They had a Masters. Mm-hmm. Abby Gaetano. I'll tell you, speaking of Gaetano, speaking of Guy Cisternino, I don't know why I'm thinking of, but Guy Cisternino. Guy Cisternino texted me last night, and he sends me this screenshot. I guess his dad posted something about, on Instagram, and someone claiming to be Big Lenny was like slandering him and Guy, and basically saying, I'm glad that guy's friends died or something like that. And Luke, something about Luke. And it was like really nasty. I said, and Guy texts me. He's like, Big Lenny, you're friends with him. You interviewed him. Like all of a sudden I'm like Big Lenny's best friend. Guy, I guess I'm the only person the guy knows that knows Big Lenny. And he's like, you better tell him I'm getting on an airplane. I'm going to go down there. I'm going to kill him. he's not talking about I'm going to beat him. I'm going to kill him. I'm going to shoot him. I'm going to kill him. That kind of kill him. How dare he says something so it was whoever wrote it was disgusting what they wrote. But I said, Guy, listen, slow down a second. First of all, I don't know Big Lenny. Okay. I interviewed him. Okay. He came to my house. I don't hang out with the guy. I said, but I have his phone number. I'll give you his phone number. You can call him up. I said, but I don't think that Big Lenny would do that. I said, that's not really Big Lenny's style. Big Lenny would do it to your face. He would text you himself and do it. He wouldn't put it online and then try to hide behind some kind of a screen name. I said, that's really, that's not like Big Lenny's style. I said, so it doesn't smell. It smells like someone's trying to just get you really mad, and effing with you. So I guess he called up Big Lenny. They had a good talk, and it wasn't Big Lenny, of course, but yeah, I thought that was pretty funny. Guys, I was ready to go. I said, where were you going? You're going to get on an airplane? He was flying down to Florida.
He can't fly with the clot in the leg and right?
I don't know. He was flying to Florida. He was going to take out Big Lenny.
He's got a hunting gun and a hunting bow and arrow, and he's got
all
the weapons to kill.
There's a great video he posted. Let me see if I can find it on his Instagram. About he shows him in a butcher shop. Have you seen this one?
No.
He'll love that I'm putting this up. This is a great video. Hold on. Let me get it up. I love that we can put these stuff up because watch this video. Hold on.
Big guy. He looks big there.
Right? Even Amanda said, I like the way he looks in that outfit. It makes him look huge.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's cutting up the deer meat, I'm sure, yeah. Right? This is the deer meat that he killed. This is right. Is it seriously? What is this? The deer that he shot or something? Same gun that he was going to come down to Florida and get Big Lenny with.
It's great, right?
Yeah.
He looks great butchering that meat. He looks like a butcher with that beard on, right?
Yeah, of course he does. Yeah.
He really fits the part. His father's a butcher, right? I think his father was a butcher, and then I know he learned everything from his dad and then they butcher their own when they hunt. They butcher.
Yeah, I know they're big hunters.
I think they have their own little butcher shop in the garage or something like that, right?
They do, yeah.
In his father's garage, not his garage. Yeah. So anyway, we love Guy, so I thought I'd throw that up there. But people on the internet, people can really mess with you. Don't believe. I've gotten taken advantage. Don't believe it. They can get under your skin. Some of these guys. I don't believe anything. You know what the new thing that they're doing now is they email you these things saying, "We got your password" or something like that to something, and they'll throw a password out there, and it'll be right. They'll email you a password, one of your passwords from something. I don't know where they get it from. And they'll say, you better send me, so much money or,
Oh, you know what I do on those?
Right.
I say, give me the address. I'll send it right away.
Yeah.
I'm dead serious.
I don't even want to. I want to like go crazy on these people, but I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna delete it. But you know what? I could see a lot of people getting nervous about this, and especially older people, and getting worried that they're gonna like steal their money and then they'll pay them. So it's disgusting. These people, when they get caught, they should really make them do jail time.
Yeah. Well, I mean, how do you track them down?
Well, the internet is a paper trail. It's not that hard. I mean, if you're sending an email from something if these government people that investigate these things, I know they don't want to waste their time on shit like this, but they can definitely find these people if they want. I mean, because IP addresses and stuff like that, these people are not that slick. So it is what it is, I guess. So anyway, Tampa's what, 2 weeks now? 2.5 weeks?
It is 3 from yesterday, I guess.
Yeah.
So,
okay. So that's good. Let's hope, keep fingers crossed. Hopefully it happens. I know I got a few horses in that show, in the amateurs and the open. I know what I want to talk about. So we're trying to. I completely lost my train of thought. So the NorCal show was a bikini show.
You can't remember because you get no sleep.
No, that's right. Although I slept last night, so I don't have any. I have no excuse.
11 hours. Go ahead. Yeah. Northern Cal, what?
Salt Lake City show was men's physique, like you said, and that was won by George Brown. He looked really good. I saw the pictures. And the pro bikini there was won by Lexus Redmond from Las Vegas. What was the show? They had a show, I think it was an amateur show. We had a client in it. That was supposed to take place in California. And at the last minute, the mayor wouldn't allow it or something like that. And they had to move it to Vegas. And they had it like in a hookah lounge.
I love hookahs. I can't smoke it through my mask.
That's right. And they actually had the people on stage with masks on at that show.
You got to get the pictures up.
I got it. Someone sent me the pictures. I don't even remember where they are now. Oh, someone texted them to me. I'm not going to be able to get them up. Let me see if I can find it. Hold on. Yeah, Muscle Contest has it up. I think it was a John Lindsay show. Oh yeah, here it is. Hold on. Right, hold on.
Did they social distance, or did they just wear the masks and compare them 1 inch apart?
First of all, having and I'm sure the promoters didn't want this. I'm sure probably somehow the venue wanted it, but having competitors wear masks is the stupidest thing of all time.
Oh, even the bikini girls had to wear the mask?
Yeah, how stupid is that? How crazy is that? I feel bad for. I think this is Tamer's show. Terrible that they had to do this, and they had to make these people. But
I'm gonna start bedazzling and putting the sequins on the masks for the bikini chicks and sell them.
I'm sure they will. Look, this girl has some interesting little bedazzlings done.
Did she have the bedazzler?
This one, I mean, yeah, the left, right? She looks like she's got some stuff on there.
Yeah, she's got a designer.
People, that'll be a new thing. It'll be $10,000 for a mask.
I'm gonna call CJ right now and see if she can.
This guy obviously couldn't get a mask until the last minute. He got like a medical mask. At least match your posing trunks with your mask, right? Yeah. I don't think anyone knew that they had to wear masks. That was the problem. He probably hurled it on the last minute. It is rather ridiculous, but I guess it's better than not competing at all, right? Like, it's not like these guys are breathing on each other up there. I mean, if anything, they're breathing on the audience, right?
Breathing on the judges, which might be the reason that they right.
Well, put masks on the judges then. Well, I'm glad that they at least had the show, so that's a good sign.
It is a great sign actually, because
24 hours they could have canceled the show and had nothing. Thank God they actually found a way to move it. But if you think you're having a show in California and they move to Vegas, that's a pretty big move, right, Chris? I mean, I don't know if I would get in a car and drive 4.5 hours to Vegas. I don't know if I would do it.
You know what? You would if you had dieted all the right.
Probably. Oh yeah, you're right. Back in the day, I would have done it. Yeah.
Of course you would have.
What else?
Dave, you peeled. You look crazy. They moved the show from New York to Los Angeles. Right. In the car you go.
It's not like I was working back then, right? So like, what else am I going to do? Like, right? I just fucking we'll do a road trip 4.5 hours, then hang out in Vegas after, I guess, right?
2 weeks out in Vegas.
Yeah.
Hang out and eat buffets in Vegas. The life, Dave.
Oh shoot. Well, at least, in 3 weeks, we'll actually have a show to cover. We'll actually be able to analyze a bodybuilding show and break it down. And,
You know what? People are going to be, there's so much like pent up demand just to see a good show. You know what I mean? Like,
that's why I'm so happy George Peterson's in the show, at least. So he probably should do the Open too.
Yeah. He
right.
He do something, right? He might do something in the Open.
He might. I mean, who's doing the Open?
I don't know. I don't know who's in I don't know who.
Too bad they won't let him do both.
They should. I mean, I don't know who's in the show. So
yeah. All right, we're gonna wrap it up. That's it. I think we actually talked about bodybuilding and stuff like that and relevant stuff today. So that's pretty good.
So people hate when we talk about stuff other than chicken breasts and steroids and.
Well, there's two camps. The one camp likes when we do talk about other stuff, and then the other camp are the purists. They don't like when we do that. So
well, tough.
Yeah. All right. As we say every week,
it's free.
With Heavy Muscle Radio.
The show is free. I mean,
the show's free. Yeah, you guys need to you can't be too picky.
The truth hurts.
It sure does. Good night, everyone. We'll see you next time.